Are you tired of watching others live the life you know you're built for? What if your biggest threat is not failure, but the comfort of Let's the connection is back. Okay. Sorry guys, I think the network was okay. So the files will be no problem. Okay. Wherever you're watching us from, you're welcome. It's a big shout out, big welcome to everybody where you're watching us from. We expect you where you're watching. It's a big thank you. We try to do this every Sunday, 7 p.m. UK time. That's where we try to do this across the world. So welcome all our Facebook fans over, I believe over, let's say 20,000, I believe. Big welcome to all our TikTok family. I think about 50,000, you're welcome. To all our YouTube family, should be up to 1,000. Welcome. To our Instagram family, the same thing, about 16,000 of you. You're welcome. Every Sunday, 7 p.m. UK time, we try our best to make currently our city of Guangzhou, that's in China, southern China, and the time is, what's the time here now? I think it's 2:33 a.m. But I'm out here. I think people are sleeping, but we're here doing this so you can all be a part of it. Okay. So big welcome to you all. Before we go, okay. Sorry guys, I don't know what's happening to my network. It keeps going off and on, so I lose the connection and it comes back on. But we will still crack back into it and without fail. Okay. All right. Yes. Please share this so that other people can learn from it. Thank you, Lucas. So others can learn from it as well. Thank you, UG. Thank you, Mans Julian Suverna. Thank you very much. Okay. Yes, share this so other people can be a part of it quickly. And if you like the screen, wherever watching, thank you, Claudia. Okay. All right. My free ebook is on my on my page. If you scroll up, you can find it. My page. You want to book a 10 minutes consultation call, send us a DM. So and we can, or there's a link on the bio as well. You want to join our community, the same thing. There's a way to join the system. There should be a QR code on the flyer that you saw. So still working on my book, The Migration Mirage, Why Nations Lose Tomorrow. It's free. Expect a website, the broadcast list. Okay. Yeah, that's that for that. A big thank you to all our sponsors, This is Ten Homes and Love Family Podcast. If you are looking to sponsor this channel or what we do every Sunday, DM and we can have that. Okay, have that conversation. Why do we do this every Sunday, 7 p.m. UK time? It's just to stir up stir up your spirit. The best can become, so that which is in line with today's topic, which is about doing things that are not normal, doing the extra. All right, the extraordinary. Okay. I'm a guru. I'm just only teaching little things that come to my life, and I hope that I share the things I wish I knew 5, 10 years ago when I had I needed changes, responses, or helps will be yours as well. That's what I wish. So as I'm talking to you, I'm talking to myself. So we discuss the topic inspire. This week we're going to discuss the topic extraordinary. 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 Yeah, that's what we're discussing this week, and I hope you learn a thing or two. All right? Okay. The majority, they just exist. Most people wake up, go through the motions, and simply accept whatever life presents. No hunger, no push, or no desire for more. They are comfort and comfort enemy. Don't fail. They just never truly try. Okay? This is the largest group. Most don't know in it. Thank you very much, Jasper. Yeah, thank you. So there's another group. They just exist. They are the first group are those that try. So they're the ones that are admirable. They work hard. They show up sometimes along the line, hit a wall, and they say this is good enough. They are confused. Trying hard is just the same as breaking through. They settle just because the breakthrough comes. And there's this group. They are the few, and they are the. Then there's the rare breed, those who refuse the ceiling. All right. So when you hear of people like say, is on another league, you have billionaires like. So they keep pushing back. They keep pushing past perfection. They keep competing even when they are there. It is said that it keeps putting a lot of hours of practice, even after nominee or making so many platinum hits. She still puts in a lot of hours of practice. Despite having made billion, he's pushing. He's not like relaxed. Okay, we have arrived. By themselves, they never declare themselves finished. You're not born ordinary. You are conditioned there. Or every person carries that will tap potentials. Isn't outside? You activate within you. Question is do with it or to make it come out. I share these things and spark and challenge you in your career, in your personal life, in your family well-being. I always tell people I don't want to be classed or called a motivational trainer. Things that I are talking to myself, things I wish I knew, things that made me see or something like I'm trying to run into the environment where I'm in China, trying to why my question in my head. I said, I'm creative. Asking every single person that I can, and that's also affecting my perspective. I see things. I hope to get an answer, and I'm already getting the answer. And I'll share some of the things with you. So I want to encourage you to be extraordinary. No, don't wait for it. Stop comparing chapters. People do. They're already, but don't want to put in the work there. Story you see there is always for every attain the level. There's always a story behind it. So you should more be interested in the story that took them there than the glory that is now glittering. All right. Decide that being ordinary is today is your final bottle about it. Your untapped potentials is knocking, and you will open that to unleash the that is in you, and that is in you. It could be your career, it could be It could be scaling on something else. It could be with your family that you go on to the next level. No, thank you very much, Mary. There's so many things that you can do, that there's so many unlocked things that need to come out of you. The only thing standing between you and your extraordinary is the desire to become it. The desire to become it. To the desire to become it. Okay? So I always like to define the terms. And this term, the term ordinary, mark the word, we're talking about extraordinary. The term ordinary, we have to define the term ordinary before we understand the term extraordinary. The term ordinary is one with no special distinction. So it's just something that is normal, something that is standard, something that is average. What is common or standard, nothing above the expected. That's what ordinary means. Ordinary means simply enough to end. That's the word according to the dictionary, So better to define the word extraordinary. So perhaps we're on the same page and we understand what sort of cannot. The word is beyond what is usual or customary. So it's something that is remarkably outstanding. Something that is ordinary. Simply put, so far above normal, it demands what? Attention. The definition of the word extraordinary. So, and I always like to make reference to what people have said about a terminology. One of the words, I remember Wayne Dyer, he said, never crowded. The extra is never crowded. The ordinary is most people are ordinary. Why do you stay at ordinary where everybody is at ordinary? This what I'm teaching to change, step up to the extraordinary. Extraordinary doesn't mean that you have $1 billion or extraordinary things for whatever it is that So in order to be irreplaceable, one must always be different. Coco Chanel. In order to be replaceable, one must be different. Always be different. That word is called oporiche. Always be different. So that means that ordinary blends in. Ordinary just ordinary always shines out. Always out. What makes a person extraordinary is the refusal to remain ordinary. What makes a person extraordinary is the refusal to remain ordinary. So, which implies that it is a daily decision. Destination. It's a daily what? Decision, not a other wishes. People have goals to make them make that reality. These are the words of Brian Tracy. Talent, it is intentionality and discipline. So why people still despite these things, a lot of people know this. Some people so do they know this thing and they still stay ordinary? One, fear of what? Failure. Most people don't try because they are terrified of what? Failing, falling short. They will not try, be seen as failing. Other people feel safe, extraordinary people feel risky. But here is the truth. Not trying is the biggest failure of all. You cannot win a race. You never entered into. Again, you're not enlisted. No, or you didn't practice. But you might even practice, but as long as you're enlisted, you can never win that race. Okay? So again, I hold people down also. The comfort trap. The comfort trap. When life is just good, the hunger dies. This thing happens in football a lot. It's called, in economics, it's called diminishing returns. Why is it that when some Premier League clubs or some football clubs, when they win a title today, by the next year, there's no more zeal, there's no more off, there's no more nothing, and they drop down. So, look, for instance, I'm not trying to be football-y or so, but just trying to touch it. How come a club like Liverpool are now in the 5th position from being so strong? So that's life. And look at a club like Arsenal. they just want it after 20-something odd years. That's how life is. That is one kind of, so that's why teams reshuffle their team so they can put in more people that have hunger, to press on. It happened to so many. Football is a very good example of that. That word. So growth only happens at the edge of your comfort zone, never inside. If you are comfortable, you are probably not growing. That is the thing to learn. If you are comfortable, you are probably not growing. Some people just think that it's okay, I don't know myself. Well, you're not doing yourself a good service. You're not making the best out of your life. So it's very important to hear out. So why do people also not act is what people will say. One of the reasons why people don't do anything or just want to stay all day is what people will say. They fear judgment, people's judgment. People, they keep people in prison. What you see. I said to my wife, "I want you to get to a level where you stop being bothered what people say." That's a whole lot. So people themselves to fit into what other people say about them. That shows that you don't understand who you are. You've not formed an identity. You need to carry yourself in that way and not care about what people say. And I think that silences their dream, because they care what people say. It silences their dream, and they want to avoid what? Criticism. They don't want anybody to be on anybody's back foot. But extraordinary people are always talked about. Let them keep talking. You cannot be extraordinary and invincible at the same time. No. You must, for you to be extraordinary, you can't hide itself. Another thing I want to reason why people choose to stay ordinary is what they don't believe they are enough. They always feel the deepest reason people stay ordinary is a lack of self-belief. They don't believe in themselves. Somewhere along the way, or along the life, you are not that. Sorry, somewhere along the way, life told them you are not that person. So whenever they are talking about someone or who is going to do this, they always point to somebody else. They never present themselves for. They always feel like they can't get it done. And so ordinary is not a choice. It is a lie. It is a lie someone accepted. So ordinary is not a life that one should just embrace. So the moment you change what you believe about yourself, everything changes. Everything is what you believe about yourself. The next, many people are ordinary simply because ordinary all ever seen. I always say that. Environment matters. Where you grow up, where you come, they all matter. Your environment shapes your expectation of your life, yourself. If everyone around you is feeling a certain way that is normal, that's how you're going to feel. So you cannot rise above the ceiling of your environment without intentionally breaking it. So check your environment and ensure that everyone around you is aspiring, growing. You're going to be the next. I think there's a phrase that says, hang around with 4 foolish people, you're going to be the 5th foolish person. Hang around with four blessed and wealthy people, you're going to be the 5th. So I highly encourage you to check those environment so that it doesn't choke you, the creativity of things, from becoming who God has ordained to be. So ordinary is not always a decision. Sometimes it's a default. But today, called higher. So, try and I'm sure you answer. Okay. Let's just touch on. I hope we'll learn anything or two. Please let us know. Tap on the screen. Thank you for the comments. Thank you very much. Share this so other people can be a part of it. So there are some biblical connections to this award, to extraordinary. We talk about David and Goliath. It's a very popular story. In 1 Samuel chapter 17, where David was the smallest. Most people overlooked him or his brothers. Nobody cared. But today, he's being celebrated. The same thing with Joseph. And a man of many colors. Joseph was thrown into the pit. He was thrown into slavery, thrown into prison. Every circumstance screams ordinary. Stay down. Yet kept the extra through him all through the storm. He didn't allow anything to hold him down. When that guy was leaving the prison, after you go think, submit my CV. Tell him there's a man here. There's a man here. Or there's something here. That's why when the guy went out to prison, he was able to remember, oh, there's a Joseph. he had in prison. He didn't allow anything to hold him down. You know. So there's another lady called Esther, an orphan. So that is, but situation does not defy your destiny. If Esther, as an orphan girl, ordinary by everyone of the world, yet she was called to the biggest moment. By, you know, so what are we trying to say? She pushed past fear and stepped to extraordinary purpose. Placed on earth for an extra purpose. Thank you very much. So God ordinary, for you are His work in Christ Jesus for every work. So it's God, you are God's workmanship. A potter, he tried to bring us back and start over again. That's how God is. God created you uniquely and put things, deposits in you, things that you can express to bring out the thing that can express mind and be of them. So remember, you are not created that way. You were crafted and you fight of that purpose. If you've been watching this video for the past 2 or 3 weeks, even today, I've heard me say that I'm in China, and there's some things I love to us. We can learn from them. I see not the whole world to China. You know, comparison to other nations, they have that extraness in them, extraordinariness in them. So touch on, you know, don't just be fascinated by the statistics. Learn from it. Take out something from it. All right. Thank you very much, Julia. So look at this picture. It's an extraordinary vision. You know, China of the longest high-speed rail network in the world. Over 400 kilometers of track. Train travel at up to 350 kilometers per hour. I've been it. That's how fast the train travels. 350 kilometers per hour, and it cuts through rocks. If there's a rock here, to go in under the rock and come out on the other side. And there's reception everywhere on your phone. I'm not exaggerating. To travel from a place called to by road on a 4 hours. On a train, you can do that for 6 hours plus. A speed train. You try a long hour train, it could be up to about 10 or 13 or 14 hours. That's to show you how far. When you would have in the middle. So I just shared those, emphasized on it. Think about your vehicle, your car. I think most cars are like 250 kilometers per hour or 200 per hour. Think about a train that runs that, and you're classed as you're driving too fast when you're doing like 120 or so. So imagine how fast that car will be. Imagine adding another consistent. I said to my wife that if there's a train like this in the UK, that means from Manchester to London, it can be done in 30 minutes less. Fast travel. They built more high-speed rail in 10 years, you know, than the rest of the world has built in years. It has built more rail than the rest of the world has done in 50 years. And that $2 billion annually. Think about it and think about how much so that will raise the economy. So, extraordinary requires current reality. Okay, so let us bear that in mind. What are the things you can learn from their real system? Is amazing. The next thing I want to learn is they are specialized. I don't know how to do it, but it's amazing. You know, I always say to my friend, you know, what made it did. So, for instance, now he will produce 6 of the world's Christmas. A town called just over 90% of the world's electronics. A town called Ocean produces enough cereals to cover the entire country. A town called Kyoto, I don't know if I pronounce it well because you know the way this way it's Kyoto or Kyoto. I don't know if it is spelled Qiaotou. That town makes 60% of the world's buttons and zips. I just thought in Guangzhou or in Guangdong will be garments. In there's a town I went to was just elevators and escalator. There's another town I went to. There are towns for shoes. There are towns for wigs. There are towns different things. And that way, you see that the different communities have some economic activity that keeps it going. They did not put everything in one cluster. There's New York, or one cluster Berlin, or one cluster. They spread everything across so that people, like I was saying, I met today, he's been in Guangzhou for 20 years. He's not going to Shanghai for 20 years. Because there's activity, economic activities, or things that bring people to different areas. The local economy is being blustered, being beefed up. All right. Thank you, and Toba. Yeah, so we can learn from a government that is visionary like them. You know, we can learn. One of the things why I drew that. It's really amazing how they were able to organize their country that way. Because to learn is the production prowess of this country. You know, so I mentioned to you like China produces 50% of the world's steel. That's if the world is produce 50%, they might 70% mobile phones. Even iPhones, you can call it, say iPhone, this, all made in China, you know. Produce 60% of the world of the world's cement. That's amazing. They use cement in they keep building. China builds a skyscraper. Just house sitting, you see 10 floor, 15 floor, less saturated. You know? So look up yourself. We could as that another that the president is doing is trying to be more productive in whatever they do. You know, they are not people that I mean they're not lazy people. Don't get me wrong, but I'm saying quite a lot of them are focusing the best out of them. Over 6 billion patents in 2023. As we all know, billion users global activity. You know, another thing, China has the fastest supercomputer, leads in AI development. It's called it's amazing. Like I used to use a translation app before, but this one is another level. It has AI and everything built in plus if you work on it, it's and speaks to the and when the person responds, it thinks it's very amazing though. Guys, they work around the clock in music, and there's anything about the brain, but there's a lot on here. I tell you, to produce STEM graduates as the United States. That's remarkable. So something. The next thing we're going to learn from what what I see people far back to 2016. Alipay said chat had accepting cash chat, you know, which copy for as a virtual WhatsApp, you know, they are taking payments. So I'm sure everyone, if you Alibaba account, valued at 200 billion. You know, one is a company called Alipay. Alipay processed over $16 trillion in transactions. So see what is learning on the study and learn from. Some is 30 million rides per day in 2 weeks per day. This will be over 60 billion. One is WeChat, which is it has over 1.2 billion active users currently. Just a messaging app is a you know, and just a chat. You can pay, you can hospital, you can order food, people and the use have on which is the level, you know. The which is like I said or said earlier, like almost 10 years ago. Like we 2010. It's like Alipay way before as I told you, just to give you guys an understanding, look it up, you know, check it up. So I know politics and all those things. So learn from this country. Another thing I want to learn from is their vehicles, electric vehicles. People next to one was amazing. The vehicles produced chapters over 6 months to BYD, amazing. I can't say enough them up. Yeah, this vehicle on YouTube is just type this YouTube suggests some channel versus maybe BMW versus for the there are so many things to learn. This was once it was classed as giving them an beg to have a seat on the build their own table, and that is what they are not there begging. I'm not asking you to create your own world. So yeah, that's so today. So just few things I want us to learn, just to touch on China before we go. They asked one question, and what they minded about going to the next. They were at it, you know. Once upon a time, people like Japan, all those things were doing better. This was the country, you know. So what we're doing, and now they've replaced a lot of things. Like I'm not like I told them Chinese people can actually, it's called Lip to the one I went to. You can see that there are four or so. So technically, what I said to myself was that this car remaining for it is just to be driver because all the number vehicles in front, dictate vehicles on the direction to show you how. I can bore you guys, but it is this ordinary, the extraordinary. The way you talk about priceless, like no, I mean, anybody living in London, talk about the London Underground train, you understand what I'm saying. But when you're in any of the Chinese underground train, no noise. Like you just pass and I don't know if I don't understand improving on it. Once you're underground, no internet, nothing, no network, no, everything goes. A majority of the underground train, also for instance, water. So that's to give you an understand effort these guys are putting. You know, so there's a lot to learn from it, and about moving from switching ordinary to extraordinary. So this is, and there's a lot to learn. I'm trying to go to the side of things, which a lot of people might say, I'm not here to talk about is the nation not doing a lot of countries doing things well. And how we can learn, how can we inspire from them. You can't take it out of them. They are doing something right. So that's that. So what today? No excuses. Move from being ordinary to having that extraordinary mindset. Is that you need to adhere, it's a Bible here, is that you need to adhere to the biblical instructions as a life manual, as a determinant of what? The extraordinariness. The Bible is not just a religious book. I'm not here to be religious to anybody or but you might say Allah does not, and you can say that. But there are so many things that the Bible teaches. This is the law of time and so on about it. We all know that this country was colonized by Britain. There's a lot to learn from Britain. Like, but a lot of British stuff has to do with all that. So the conversation here is that as an individual, if you read your own, it will make a whole lot of difference to your life. Not trying to be a pastor or something, just to follow the instructions. The Bible is an extraordinary life manual. Every principle in it has been across centuries and civilizations. Who take the instructions, if you want to read the Bible, it speaks to purpose, it speaks to discipline. The Bible is never whether the Bible works. Allow the Bible to walk through you. If you allow the Word of God to go through you to make a whole lot of difference in your life, real people, there are people in the world that their lives have been transformed. Talk about Dave Ramsey. Look him up, find him. They talk about Truth Cathy, the owner of Chick-fil-A. I'm sure all of you have known Chick-fil-A. That says closed on Sunday. I think. Read about them. You can better understand their life and just turn it around. We can talk about more people like Tyler Perry. His background or the don't get me wrong, people that are not Christian that have been in life, but a big difference. About somebody's can for what I'm trying to say to you is that sorry guys, that's a little transmission here. My mouse held down. Just grab it up. I hope I learned anything or two, guys. Please share this with somebody so they can learn. If you're liking what you're listening to, I do this every Sunday UK time. So Always tune in and be blessed. All right. Okay. So let's crack on as we wrap these sessions up, and I hope we're learning something. So we're behind time, all right, but it is what it is. I have a lot going on here. I don't just come here to hang around and look at skyscrapers. No, I have a very busy schedule here. So it's about 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. now, and I'm still awake. So I have to wake up in the morning again. Okay. So the first thing I want to encourage you to guys, read your Bible. If you want to be extraordinary, that will change your life. It's not a I'm not here to argue with anybody. Read it and to show a difference in your life. It's clear. Bible can make compared to any book. Okay. Next thing is discover your purpose and go all in. I always say this, one of the greatest books you can read to understand the reason why you're here is a book called Purpose Driven Life by Rick Warren. If you've never read that book, I highly recommend it. Purpose Driven Life by Rick Warren. All right. So the practical thing I want to say to you, stop dividing your energy across different directions. And the reason why people do that is because they don't understand why they are here. This world is so filled up with, this world is amazing. You need to ask yourself questions. If you've never thought about why am I even here? People come, they leave, they die, they go. You never thought about it, then there's a big problem. Everybody should have asked that question. Hang on, what's happening? What am I doing here? And one book that can help you answer that question is called Purpose Driven Life. It will help you. That book has sold over 30 million copies. It's amazing. Just type it up on the internet. I'm talking to you right now. Purpose Driven Life by Rick Warren, and you can understand what I'm saying. Just read a little bit about it, and you'll see that it's a book that can help to change the way you think, help you understand why you're here, help you prepare for a life after here, and help you to live a life that makes a whole difference. So that's what I'm saying. One action to do is discovering why you're here, and one way to discover it is through a book called Purpose Driven Life. That's the next thing I would encourage you to do. So the next thing to do is to begin to build disciplines and refuse mediocrity. Some people, so there are practical steps. You need to develop one non-negotiable daily habit. What is one thing that you need to do to make you extraordinary? That to feed you extraordinary. It is that you need to read books. Is it that you need to study? Is it that you need to grow for at least 30 minutes a day? What do you need to do? Hold yourself, to high a standard than everyone around you. What do you need to do? When others are resting, you need to refine yourself. When others are celebrating, you need to prepare. What do you need? What's that discipline, that one thing that separates you from those who are ordinary to those who are? So what's that thing? Find out. For everybody, everything that you want to do, there's somebody out there that's already living that thing. So find out that thing that they're doing and see how you can begin to apply those things in your life. That one discipline. It is said that Kobe Bryant, before everybody wakes up for training, he's already done 2 hours of training every 4 a.m. Borders wake up. And I also heard the same thing from Michael Jordan, that he would shoot, I think, about 5,000 shots every day, and no reason why whenever he touched the ball, he must go into the net. So what it is that what's that discipline to do to set yourself apart? And you need to start doing it now to begin to make yourself different. So for all, next point is to think about legacy. So ask yourself daily, how does my life solve a problem for someone else? Life is not about me, myself, and I, just you. Those are small life. I always say it, and I'll never stop saying it. You just know that you might hear it next week again. Anybody that has ever made a significance in life, when you hear about somebody that is popular, someone that people celebrate, all ever they were focused on was about others. They were thinking about others. When you live a life of me, myself, and I, there's a little you can accomplish in life. Once you are no more, or anything happens to you, people just sing a song and say nice things, and that's it, they forget about you. So mentor somebody today, who was where you used to be, that needs to be better. Build something, a business, build a movement, a foundation that will outlast your lifetime. Measure extraordinariness, not just by what you accumulate, but by what you have contributed. So legacy is the ultimate proof of extraordinariness, the extraordinary. So think about it. Some people are no more thinking that they have enough to eat. So food is not their problem now. They're thinking of how can they transform the world, how can they change the world. That is the mind and that's the mentality you ought to get to, you and I ought to get to, okay? To this level. So I hope I'll be able to share some practical steps to do So as I wrap this up, I want you to understand that your inner circle determines your altitude. So think about those that you have in your life to determine whether you progress or not. Failure is a tuition fee for the extraordinary. Don't be afraid to fail. The moment you keep failing, if you fail on something, you learn from it and you improve on it. Your mind and words are your most powerful tools. Be mindful of the things you say. So the Bible tells us, as a man said, man thinketh his heart, so is he. And for you to think, sometimes you say those things in your heart. I'm saying, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. So, and your expectations shall not be what cut short. Be mindful of what you say. If you talk yourself down, you will never ever rise more than what you have ever said about yourself. Be mindful of your thoughts and what you allow to go into your mind. All right. Next thing is extraordinary has a price tag, and they must and most won't pay for it. So to be extraordinary, people don't want to pay for it. People don't want to do what it takes to be there. You should learn to do that thing different. So I hope you learned a thing or two. I don't know if there's anyone that wants to share anything. Otherwise, just read the comments. I can call it a day because we're over time, so we might as well just wrap up early. Just to say a big thank you to all of you. I always join every time, every Sunday, sharing. There's a big thank you to you. So let's go read some of your comments as we call this today. All right. Okay. Thank you very much for joining. I have here Lawin. He said, "What exactly do I have to sacrifice to live my ordinary life and become extraordinary?" Lawin, you know your life. I don't know you personally. You know your life. You know what that thing is. Everybody, my people, where I come from in Nigeria, they always say that at some point you need to call yourself to order. That means you need to. Sometimes it's your kingsman that can call you to order. But this adage, this proverb says you need to call yourself order. You need to be realistic to yourself. You need to analyze your life and tell yourself what area or aspect of my life do I need to stop doing, because you said sacrifice. What I need to sacrifice on so that the best out of me can come. Like I said to people, you cannot sit down and watch Netflix, binge everything when there's nothing about you that's improving. I cannot watch a program that doesn't add value to me. I don't entertain myself. Just watch something, flicking on the phone, just entertaining myself. No, I must be learning something, informing myself, adding value to myself. If I watch, like I said, I don't watch, without due respect, I don't watch things like Star Wars. I don't watch things like things that are like not science fiction. I don't watch those things because it's out of touch with reality, and in one way or the other, I'm not learning. While I'm watching, there are things to learn from it, but it's too far from reality. I have to come back to reality and remember that I have to do this and do that. No, I don't want to do that. So I don't entertain myself. The other day I was watching a documentary about the jungle in a certain part of Africa, and I was learning from the animals and all that stuff. So do what it is that will make you learn from. Check yourself. There's something that you need to sacrifice within you. So I know the things I need to sacrifice on to improve on different aspects of my life. So check yourself and you're able to get that. I hope that's helpful, Lauren, and people others have learned from it. So Antoba says, if I try and fail, how will I handle the people around me? You need to be able to understand that there's what's called friends and acquaintances. Yes, you can't get rid of family, but if they become toxic, you need to give yourself a little bit of distance to achieve what you need to do in life. So people around you are very important. I touched on it to determine whether you get to where you want to get to in life. And also, not just avoiding, you also need to build relationship with other people that will spoil you. You know, one of the best ways to do that is to reach out to build relationship with people that have the kind of results you desire. So whatever it is, do you hope to go to the Olympics? You need to look for someone that has been there before to build a relationship with. You want to set up a business, find someone that has a business in your area and get closer to them. So you need to be able to understand that until you begin to build relationships, the other ones that you might not know that you are in. Some people don't know that they're in those kind of relationships that are affecting them. They don't know that. And I hope that what I shared, October, is a blessing to you. So Arthur Fred says, motivation is temporary. How do I maintain this enthusiasm after the life? Okay, this live stream is over. Yes, like I pointed out, you need to read books. You know, the current book I'm reading now is this book called There Was a Country. You know, so you need to read books. Like I pointed out, you need to read at least 10 pages a day, or like I said, about 30 minutes or less. Read something, you know, and like I pointed out, you need to check your circle of influence. the people around you, I just touched on it. They will not inspire you. You need to read books. And I highly recommend reading the Bible. I read the Bible every day. That way, you stay consistently motivated, consistently inspired. All right. So if you read the Bible, you read books, you watch kind of people you keep around you. You travel, and when you travel, you're not just excited about holiday. I don't answer my phone on holiday. We don't listen to people. I don't know if your phone doesn't ring on holiday and you don't answer it. Like a song. There's a song in Nigeria by a guy called Two-Face Idibia. He say, if nobody talks about you, then you are nobody. So people like go on a holiday and say, I don't want to answer my call and all that. So they are sorry to say, but you're nobody. That's why, because in all due respect, if you're very busy, if you're living a life of impact or you're doing something very meaningful, people should be able to reach you anytime and everywhere. Yes, don't get me wrong, you don't take everybody's call, but you should be able to be reachable, or you can take a phone call. You can actually live life on your own terms. So holiday would not necessarily be like a big deal. If you live life on your own terms, holiday will not be like a big deal. Like I said to my wife, if I go to a different country, some people when they're leaving the country, they start getting angry. They're going back to, for me, it's not like that, because wherever I go through, whether I'm going to England or going to Nigeria or going to China, the excitement is on different levels at different times. So I'm excited to go see my children. I'm excited to see my family. I'm excited to go check on my project. I'm excited to come here to connect what I'm doing. So the point is, you need to live life on your own terms so that you control how things go for you. Peter Akiana says the best question was, okay, go ahead and let's know what the question is. Well, anyway, we're bringing this to a wrap and do that quickly. Send the question in quickly. Lowin again asked another question. What exactly do I? Okay, yeah, we talked about that. Julia says, hello, sir. How are you? I just joined your live stream. I really like your guidance and words. Thank you very much, Julia, for always joining. Very much appreciated. Please, if you missed out, go to YouTube, type my name, Onyekwelu ILOGE. Click on the live section, scroll. You should find the topic. You can watch it over, pause, watch, and you learn a lot from it. Thank you, Trehema Vemba says, greetings, sir. Happy Sunday. God bless you. Thank you very much, sir. All for always joining. Much appreciated. Peter Akiana says, what's the real secret behind what China said in the caption? What's the real secret behind what China said in the caption? How do they do extra work? I don't really get your gist, but all I know is that China is amazing at what they're doing, and they put in the extra efforts. So the shops I see here, they don't close to, I recorded a video not so long, they don't close to like 12 p.m. and all that. They're still pushing, they push themselves hard, So they go the extra mile. And like it talks about, if you want somewhere that's not crowded, do the extra mile and you'll be in a place that is, there's not a lot of people, because a lot of people don't want to do the extra stuff. Frenad John says, what's the biggest mistake people make in reaching this conclusion of going from ordinary to extraordinary? What the biggest people make? I would say it's the biggest. One of the things people make is just not believing that it's them. A lot of people have chosen average. Like, with all due respect, some people, they say things like, I've worked somewhere for 20 years, I've lived in the house for 20 years, I lived here for 30 years. I'm sorry to say, but those things, it just shows me that some people have just chosen life to just be like the way a mouse goes around a circle. You've lived somewhere for 30 years, you couldn't find. Not saying you should live there, but there's a lot out there in the world. Some people just like the same old. It's okay, but it's not okay. You understand it? You need to push yourself to go seek other things. You need to push yourself to change environment. You need to push yourself to do something new. Some people are scared of venturing something. There's an advert by Emirates that says, when was the last time you did something for the first time? When was the last time you did something for the first time? You need to check, when was the last time you broke out of your friendship circle and met a different kind of people, or went to when was the last time you broke an itinerary in a week and did something different? That's my encouragement for you. So, and I hope that question really helps. That some people they don't believe themselves, that they don't believe that the extraordinary is in them because they've done things the same way for a long time, and their life now autopilot, ordinary. So one has to be intentional, otherwise it's just remain ordinary. Yes, Mary P. Moore says, what is China's story in becoming extra? How have they transformed themselves? Our time is fast spent, Mary P. I think you should go to my channel, Onyekwelu ILOGE, type it on YouTube, click on live, watch last week's episode. It was titled Inspired. Look about it, and I did a proper discussion about the leaders of two key leaders of China, inspired the transformation that we're experiencing now, and the world is benefiting from. That, I think that answers to your question. I don't have that time. I would have touched on it, but I don't have that time now because it's a lot. I need to explain it properly. All right, sorry about that. Nemo Ricardo says, how do you silence the negativity inner voice that wants to stop you? The only way to silence is to flush it out. And if you flush it out, the negative stays there because you don't have the positive that flushes it out. And for me, how I do flush mine out is I read the Bible. Now the Bible talks about transforming your mind, and so the more I read, the more it flushes out negative things that are not true. Negative things are not true. And gradually, I read books like I touched on later. They keep me moving. I watch movies that inspire me. I keep hang around people that are far ahead of me, and they push me further, challenge me to become better. So those are some of the few things I do. Please watch my page or something that you learn other things that is linked to this thing I just mentioned, right? Jasper says, best of luck. Claudia says, go on. Luca says, how are you? I'm doing great. Thank you, Luca, for asking. Oh, yeah, let us know where you're watching from, Luca. Your G is my goat says, hello, hi. I say hi. Then man, Jula Suverda says hi. Thank you, there. And that's about it. So, yes. Thank you very much for your questions. Thank you very much. I keep bringing them in. We'll learn a lot or two. Even if it's just to say thank you, we'll learn a lot from them. Others will learn from them, right? So we're going to wrap this up. Our time is fast spent. Let's say a big thank you to everyone. And God bless you for always joining. This is me saying thank you to all of you. Thank you very much. Thank you to my team, my PA, Venus, to social media manager, Dami, to Igwebike that does movies and other stuff, to Edika that does the flyers and what have you. Thank you very much. To a big shout out to my wife. God bless you there. Big shout out to her. To all my friends, my mentors, my colleagues, and the ones in church and everywhere. Saying this, Christ bless you all. Thank you very much. Please follow this page, like and share this page so that more people can be a part of it. Please, and please. Okay, next thing is that let's look at you guys take away. Yes, keep them coming. Thank you for dropping. Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you very much. Keep them coming. Keep typing them so more people can learn from it. All right. Don't forget to share this so more people can learn from it. All right. Please don't forget that. So type your biggest takeaway. Keep them coming. Share this so more people can learn. Next Sunday we'll come with another exciting topic for you guys. So stay tuned. 7 p.m. UK time. On this channel, you can watch this again on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and like LinkedIn or wherever you watch. Let that. All right, please remember that I have my paid ebook or my free ebook on my channel. Check it out. I'm writing a book. It'll be out soon. Check that. Be expected of it. Take your life in your hands and control your life. Destiny. Don't die average. I would never consider to say that. And this live stream is sponsored by the Hair You Love. They make premium wigs. Check them out. It's spelled D for Delta, hair, then U for umbrella, L for Lima, U for umbrella, then V for Victor. Hair You Love. Check them out and place your orders. You can never go wrong. 100% human wigs and something you can trust, not the ones that are being, check them out. They can say this better than I do. A big thank you to Dixie System Homes. Property investors, property developers in Nigeria and the United Kingdom. So same thing with shortlets and service accommodation. If you're looking for how to invest your money, let us know. Or you got cash, you don't know what to do with it. Let us have a conversation. Perhaps we can have something out that work out best for you. Okay. Next thing is next sponsor is Love Family Podcast. This is saying thank you to all of them. Thank you. We have podcast episodes coming out every week. Please check on our channel. Type Love Family Podcast, one word, and watch videos that will inspire you and keep your families together and knitted. Right. So this is now a wrap. But I wrap this with these words: extraordinary is a decision. You are not born ordinary. You are conditioned to stay there. Decide today to leave. I've said it before. People have been conditioned by the environment or themselves, and they stay where they ought not to be. Decide today to become extraordinary. Break out the seal and come out of there. All right. Next thing is that the world rewards the extraordinary. So vision, focus, and relentless execution will always attract what ordinaries never can attract. So bear that in mind. The next thing is ordinary has a devastating cost. Every day you stay ordinary, your potential, your time, and your legacies will quietly expire. So bear that in mind and strive for the next. Extraordinary is built, not stumbled into. Align yourself with purpose, discipline, and serve. That is the only path for ordinary to extraordinary. You can't boycott it. So I hope you've learned a thing or two. I hope you've inspired. It's been saying thank you. And I hope that I always say this to stir the best out of you. So keep it coming, keep watching, and thank you very much. Remember, the wise always invest. Invest in whatever will make you become extra in that, to move from ordinary to extraordinary, and you can never go wrong. This is me saying peace, Udo, and I'm out. God bless you. See you next week. Bye-bye. Thank you.